And today, what the requested topic was how to sell the soap. So who do we have in the room right this moment?
We have four guys. Three of them, they never heard you before.
Okay.
The fourth one is Ash, which you probably remember. You talked to
Ash, of course. All right. So we're going to talk about the soap, but what I want to do is get a baseline. So if somebody could tell me, I don't know how long everybody's been there, but if somebody wants to just tell me why we give soap away. If I was a customer and I was going to ask you this question, why the soap? I don't get the point of the soap. Why are you giving me soap away? Who wants to answer that?
Hi, Harry. This is Nathan from Lifetime Water Systems, Toronto. How are you, sir?
I am well, Nathan. So why do you give soap away?
Well, basically for two reasons. The first being these biodegradable soap, excellent soap, prevents addage of chemicals to the cleaners. And I explain that to our customers. We want to get rid of all those chemicals that might cause problems, allergies, or different reactions to skin or hair or all that. And the second reason is help them to pay off this wonderful system, water treatment system, so you don't need to purchase all this stuff from their favorite grocery shop and save that money, and that helps them to pay off the system.
So we got money and we have the reduction of chemicals. So why do I need to buy a water system? Why can't I just go reduce chemicals by going to the local health store and buying better soap products?
Well, these soaps are designed for clean water. Obviously, when we have clean water, it also brings down the usage of cleaners.
What does clean water mean? Why does clean water help with soap?
Because there is not much impurities in the water, so the cleaner doesn't actually clean the water. They clean us. So all these so-called cleaning products that we buy for a lot of money, most of it goes to cleaning the water, not us. So that's a huge waste.
I don't understand. Why does it have to clean the water?
Because there is lots of impurities in the water. So the detergent is to clean, obviously. When the water is not clean, it activates the detergent, so it starts reacting with water instead of our hair or our clothes or anything like that. That's what I understand.
So the chemicals are cleaning my water, so I don't need a water system if the chemicals are cleaning my water. Does it purify my water too?
No, what I mean by that is it reacts with the water. It brings down obviously the quality of the water. It doesn't. There is water purifiers in the soaps too, the detergent that we buy. It doesn't really clean the water in a sense that our system does. It just reacts with the water and try to cleaning the water.
Okay. So Nathan, how long have you been doing this?
About 6-7 months, sir.
Okay. And how's your closing rate?
It's about around 10% or so.
Okay.
No, it's more. No, it's more actually.
It's closing about 18%.
18%.
Okay. So how would you like to close 80%?
I would like that very much, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you that, and for everyone on the call, the biggest challenge we have in selling RainSoft systems is simply getting people to understand what we're talking about. The biggest challenge we have is getting you to understand what you're talking about. And I think you have a cursory understanding, but the language you're using to explain this, I'm going to tell you, probably only makes sense to 18% of the people.
Okay.
So what you have to do is get a much better understanding of the entire concept of what we're doing and why water doesn't work. And I'll give you a couple of things just to wrap your arms around. Here's what people have to understand. They have to understand, why is the water in the condition that it's in when it arrives at my house, and why is that condition not conducive to use in my house? And when the people get that, they get RainSoft water in their home.
Okay.
And if they don't get it, they don't get it. So when you listen back to this call and you listen to how you explain this, if you played that for 100 people, there might be 18 people that got it. The rest of it, the other 82, wouldn't have any idea what you're talking about. So we have to learn to speak in clear pictures that will allow people to quickly understand why we do what we do.
Harry, can I?
What do you think? Yes.
Can you briefly tell, because they don't know you, so they don't really know who you are.
Okay.
If you can tell them a little bit about who you are and your background, so they understand a little
Sure.
bit better.
So that's a great question. Just so you know who I am, I started in RainSoft in 1984 when I was 23 years old. And I was one of the top salespeople for the next 9 years in RainSoft. I bought the dealership 9 months later, and I've been helping people sell water for the last 30-plus years. So I also started the soap company back in 1987 along with my business partner, and our goal is to help you do a better job. But I was one of the top salespeople in RainSoft for many, many, many years, along with one of the top dealers. Just so you understand, I'm not a guy that's selling soap. So I have coached people into becoming from zero to heroes in RainSoft, and you can go onto my website, which is harrysinger.com. Again, harrysinger.com, and just click on the tab where it says RainSoft members, click on join, and you'll have access to a lot of these calls. So I was talking to a gentleman yesterday that I've been working with, and he's now closing at 80%. So he's a very talented guy, but he called me yesterday, and he just was going off on how the stuff I teach works so well. So some of you'll just have to trust, but I can tell you that my goal and your goal are the same. Every time you sell a water system, I make money. So my goal is to show you how to sell more water systems, how to sell more RainSoft systems. Does that make sense?
Awesome. Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you, I have this down to an art form. I understand this probably as well as anybody you'll ever meet. And I work with Randy Williams, who was, I think, number one or two, well, he was number one dealer sales in the world last year. So, and he listens to me, and we have coaching calls with his office every week, and he's in the top, and he closes 92%, and yet he tries to get better. So I'm going to tell you that this is the greatest opportunity you'll ever have in life as far as learning to create wealth. RainSoft I was a millionaire from RainSoft by the time I was 32 years old. And it's an amazing business, and I can tell you that it's my favorite product and my favorite equipment and my favorite thing to work with are RainSoft people. So I have a massive passion for good water, and I also have an incredible understanding of what it takes to get people to buy a RainSoft system. Okay? So back to where I was going. Does that help? Give you a little more credibility? So here's the deal, Nathan. When you speak, you're speaking in what I call glittering generalities that probably don't resonate with most of the people you're speaking to. So we have to simplify the concept, and it's a really simple understanding. And I'll tell you why we give soap away, and I'll tell you why it makes more sense. So here's the deal. And it's all in your presentation. It's in your script right now. It's just you haven't quite wrapped your arms around the actual meaning of the words you're saying. The entire RainSoft presentation is designed to make the following point, okay? Your water is exhausted when it comes into your home and has no ability to clean. It will not dissolve anything it comes into contact with because it's already done that. So here's how I like to describe it. Imagine a giant magnet falling through the sky, and imagine pollution as paper clips. And as that magnet falls through the sky, it picks up all the paper clips in the sky, the carbon monoxide, the factory pollution, and everything you can think of. That's why when you get a small rain and it just barely rains, your car is covered with mud. It's all been cleaned from the sky. That's water's job. Water's greatest strength is it dissolves everything it comes into contact with. Just so you know, pure water doesn't conduct electricity. Matter of fact, we measure water purity in conductivity. That's what measures water purity, is how much electricity will it conduct. So there's a lot of things you should learn about water. Not necessarily share with everybody you talk to, but just so you know in your heart what happens. Water will dissolve everything. If you run pure water through copper pipes, it'll literally leach the metals out of the pipe, and you'll have holes in the pipes. Pure water is incredibly aggressive. It made the Grand Canyon. So when water starts up in the sky, and this is the hydrological cycle that's on your presentation, it picks up everything it comes into contact with. The problem is a lot of people aren't smart enough to tie those loose ends together. They can't assimilate the information to put one and one together to come up with two. So we have to do it for them. And everybody learns differently. And everybody gets that aha moment by using different illustrations in the home. First of all, I have to get you to have that aha moment. So the aha moment is water starts up in the sky. It's really clean. And then it falls through. And just imagine, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, that water was in the shape of a horseshoe magnet that we were all used to seeing, right? You see this magnet? And as the water falls through the sky, all the pollution you can think of, just imagine them as paper clips. And as that giant magnet is falling through the sky, the paper clips are clinging to that magnet. And when it hits the farmers' fields, all the pesticides, now they're a big deal about the Roundup that's in all the products that are getting multi-lawsuits. And then it picks up all the farmers' fields and the pesticides and the insecticides and everything thrown into the ground. And then it goes into the rivers and the lakes where yesterday's toilet water is tomorrow's drinking water, and all the pharmaceuticals that are ingested by people are showing up in the water, and those are little paper clips sticking to that magnet. And by the time the city gets that magnet that's coated in paper clips that represent all the pollution, thousands of chemicals, pharmaceuticals, things we don't even know yet, are clinging to that magnet. And the city, what they do is they take off the big stuff, the cats, the dogs, the logs, and the rocks, and then they pour chlorine in the water to make it look clear. And then the water is forced through the pipes of aging infrastructure that has stuff in it. And by the time you turn on your tap, your last line of defense against the water is that little screen that's on every faucet. And if I unscrew that, you'll see the little rocks and pebbles that's been caught in the sand. That's your last line of defense between your family's safety and your water. That's what we're relying on. So if you imagine that magnet, after a while, guess what? When you run a magnet over paper clips and it's full, what happens the next time? It can't pick up any more magnets. It can't pick up any more paper clips. The magnet is coated. Every inch of the magnet's surface area is coated. So literally, what you do is you are purchasing and taking care of your water one box at a time. The world's largest water softening company is Procter & Gamble. Cascade, Tide, Cheer, Bold, Spick and Span, Lime-A-Way, Jet Dry, they're all products that are designed to chemically soften your water. Your water will not work in the laundry without a laundry detergent that's full of what we call ionic and anionic surfactants. Those surfactants break the surface tension of the water and allow it to work. The reason your clothes come out remotely clean is because of the detergent you're putting in your laundry. And if you look on your dishwasher's owner's manual, it'll tell you to add Cascade in direct correlation to how hard your water is. There's a chart on it. All of you need to go to CascadeClean.com, Limeaway.com, and read about negative effects of hard water. Limeaway is designed specifically, as so is Scrubbing Bubbles, to overcome hard water stains. Okay? Hard water stains, Limeaway, that's your answer. So those are harsh chemicals to fight the problem. So when people understand this message, they get good water. It's just they don't understand. And when we talk about chemicals and biodegradable and all this other stuff, that doesn't resonate with people. Most people don't care. They're just hearing blah, 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 blah. We have to wake people up. There's two ways to treat your water. You can either fight the hardness one box at a time, or you can cure the problem before the water enters your house.
Okay.
So imagine this. Imagine that I contacted a water doctor because my clothes weren't coming clean, and what I had in my house was hard water, and all I was using was pure soap. And that water, my clothes weren't coming clean, so I call out the doctor, and the doctor comes out in his white coat, and he looks at my laundry. He goes, well, here's the problem with your laundry. Your water's hard. We're going to have to give you a prescription to treat that water hardness. So I'm going to write you a prescription for Tide. And the same thing, and your dishes aren't coming out clean because you're using you're using hard water and good soaps that you bought. So you made the right decision to get rid of the chemicals out of your house, but the problem is these good soaps don't work with hard water. So I'm going to write you a prescription for Cascade, and I'm going to write you a prescription for Jet Dry. That's used in the rinse cycle. Oh, and I'm going to write you a prescription for fabric softener because that'll overcome the detergent left behind you in your clothes that make your clothes feel hard and brittle. We've got another prescription for that. And in your shower, that soap scum is undissolved soap. I'm going to write you a prescription for Limeaway and Scrubbing Bubbles. So now you have 6 prescriptions that you have to fill for the rest of your life. Kind of like what Big Pharma does to us. People are on 4 and 5 and 6 prescriptions by the time they're 60 years old. So if you're a doctor and you had been on 4 medications your whole life and the doctor suddenly came and said, hey, I've got a cure for you, do you think it's better to continue to fill the prescriptions each week, or would you go with the cure? Nathan, what makes more sense for you, the cure or the prescriptions for the rest of your life?
The cure, obviously.
Well, that's what we have. We have the cure. We cure the problem. So we give you good water, and then we figure if you're going to have good water, you might as well use good soap. And here's the benefits to good soap. There's far less chemicals. They're far safer. Instead of being part of the problem, you can be part of the solution. Do you like Canada, Nathan?
In all my heart, sir.
Do you want Canada to have a nicer environment?
Absolutely.
So do you want to be part of the solution or part of the problem?
Part of the solution.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Doesn't it make only perfectly good sense to cure the problem? And here's the thing. Not only does it make good sense, it literally will save you dollars. See, good water and then good soap makes sense and saves dollars. We cure the problem. And the solution is far less expensive and far more beneficial than the problem. What good does washing your clothes in Tide do? Well, it gets your clothes kind of clean, but it leaves Tide left behind in your skin, in your clothes. Why? Because your water can't dissolve the Tide when it goes to rinse it off. Nathan, do you know how a dishwasher works? Do you know how many gallons of water a dishwasher uses?
Not really.
Okay? So you hear your dishwasher running for a few hours. Do you think it's running water that entire time?
I think so.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. And this is a really good thing to explain to people. Inside that dishwasher, like the new ones, there's dispensers now. I have a new dishwasher. It's got a dispenser in it. You can just pour liquid soap in it. And every time the dishwasher runs, it dispenses the detergent into the dishwasher. You know what I had to program into the dishwasher when I first got it?
No?
Take a guess.
How hot the water is?
How hard the water is. It literally had to program into the dishwasher how hard the water is, and that dishwasher dispenses the detergent based on how hard the water is. What does that mean? It means that the detergent you're using in your dishwasher is predominantly a water softener. See, what happens is your dishwasher puts in about 4 gallons of water at the base of your dishwasher, and then that dishwashing detergent, the Cascade, is dispensed, and it softens that water. Then that water is pumped 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, depending on the cycles you're using to clean the dishes. Then that water drains out, and then fresh water fills up, and the jet dry is dispensed based on how hard the water is. The jet dry is a rinse agent, a water softening agent for the rinse water, and then the dishes are rinsed. The typical dishwasher only uses 14 gallons of water to clean your dishes, just like your wash machine. It doesn't run water constantly. The wash machine, if you have one of the front loaders, you can see it happening. It puts in maybe 2 gallons, 3 gallons of water into the wash machine, and then the detergent is dispensed, and it softens the water, and then it rinses out, but all that tide is left behind in your clothes, and the hard water comes in, and that's why you have so much detergent left in your clothes. See, that's why you get out of the shower. If you smell like Dial, do you know why, Nathan?
Because
you still have Dial on your skin. Why? Because your water wasn't able to rinse it off. So you're walking around with Dial in your skin. You're walking around with Tide in your sheets. If I took a 1/16 of a teaspoon and I sprinkled it on your pillow, I mean, I'm just talking about just a little tiny bit of Tide, and I sprinkled it on your pillowcase, and I rubbed it in and shook it out. Would you sleep on that pillowcase? Would you let your children sleep on the pillowcase?
No.
And yet that's what we do every day. See how I wring out that washcloth, and I shook it up in the flask, and you see all those suds, all that acids and chemicals? It all happens because your water couldn't dissolve the detergent because of the process. Hard water does not mix with soap, period. That's why this one looks like somebody already took a bath in it. Everything I'm showing you today is not magic. It's simply based on the fact that hard water does not dissolve soap. It's exhausted. You could take the world's greatest marathon runner that just ran the Boston Marathon and won, and then asked him to run it again with no rest. How well would he do, Nathan?
Not good at all.
Well, water is the greatest substance on the planet. It's just so polluted and has picked up so much doing its job, it can't run another marathon when it gets in your house. So you know what we do? We re-energize that water. We renew the water. We return the water the way it was meant to be. It's not magic. Having a water conditioner in your house is very similar to having an air conditioner. When you don't like the quality of your air because it's too hot or humid, what do? Those 12 days a year where it's too hot in Canada, you turn on the air conditioner, right?
Yes.
Is it 14 or is it 12? Anyway.
Probably 12.
12. Those 12 days, you turn on the air conditioner. So you have an air conditioner for maybe, in all seriousness, 45, 50 days a year in Canada you need an air conditioner?
Yeah, maybe even more, yeah.
And yet you use water every day and you don't have a water conditioner. And once you have a water conditioner, not having a water conditioner would be as ludicrous as not having an air conditioner when it's 100 degrees outside. When the air conditioner goes out, like in Kansas City where we have 0 nice days a year, it's always 2, it's either too hot or too cold, then people, it's a national tragedy. People, oh my God, I can't go to work, my air conditioner's out. I got to get it fixed right away. I don't care if it's Monday, Sunday, Christmas Day, Easter Day, I got to get the air conditioner fixed. That's the way you should feel about your water. So when it comes to the soap, we give the soap away for 2 reasons, 2 very, very solid reasons. We give you these fantastic Natural Vision soaps, which are designed and engineered to work along with your good water. Why would you want to pay twice to soften your water? We're going to condition your water beyond softening, but why would you want to just dump a water softener on a water softener? So we've gone and we've went to Liquid Soap Products, and they created these soaps, and they've been doing this for over 30 years. And they make soaps to work specifically to work with the RainSoft system so that you can, A, be part of the solution instead of part of the problem, and then B, we give you the products so that you can save some money. And we just want you to take your anyway dollars. This isn't magic. It's not a sales gimmick. If we cure the problem, if I cured your blood pressure, would you continue to take blood pressure medicine? No. It's ludicrous. Why would you do that? It's also detrimental. Well, let me tell you, if I cure your water hardness problem, why would you continue to use products that are predominantly designed to soften the water? You can go to CascadeClean.com. I'm not bagging on Procter & Gamble. They brag about on CascadeClean.com under the Platinum product. They use their Platinum product for its superiority in water softening. It's not that these companies are bad. It's just they have a solution. It's just like the pharmaceutical companies are trying to help you, because people would rather take a pill than lose weight. They'd rather treat the problem one pill at a time, and so we're so used to finding a solution, an instant solution, so people would rather continue to go to the grocery store and dump chemicals down our drain, making the problems worse for today, tomorrow, and your children's future, than to cure the problem. In this case, though, the cure is so much less expensive than the treatment that why wouldn't you? Plus, you get all the benefits. Tide doesn't make your skin softer. Tide doesn't make your hair softer. Tide doesn't make your water taste better. Tide doesn't make your ice cubes clear, your tea taste better, your coffee taste better. Tide doesn't preserve your clothes, make your fibers last longer. See, if you take a washcloth in hard water and you wring it out and rinse it out after you take a shower and you use a bar of soap, it dries like a pizza box. With good water, if you wring it all out and rinse it all out, it dries soft just like it came out of the laundry. We do what we do because we're unaware of what we're doing. Once you wake up and you realize what you're doing, the fact that you would continue to use your raw, untreated hard tap water is ludicrous. If you knew what was in this water, you wouldn't drink it. And it's not like anybody ever calls me and says, oh my gosh, I miss hard water, bring that back, I'm shutting my RainSoft system off. I've never had that call in 30 years. So the soap is a tool. Yes, you can go off and blow V8 on how great the soap is, but it's really not even necessary, and time is your biggest competitor. The water does all the work. The soap is just a cool way. So when people go, well, how do you sell the soap? The soap is only natural. The soap is natural, and it's natural to give away. The soap is designed and engineered to work with your water. Your water is doing all the work. So we give you these great soap products. What do you want your laundry soap to do, Nathan?
I want to clean my clothes.
So does it really matter what you do or what you put in your laundry as long as your laundry gets cleaned? Are you married to Tide? Do you enjoy going to the store and buying Tide? See, we get these products factory direct, and we give them to you. And it makes sense because we can buy them factory direct. We have a contract with Liquid Soap, and it allows us to deliver the products. They cut out the middleman, the retail advertising. They cut out the profits that the stores make, and they ship directly to us. And they do it because they hope that one day when you're out of soap, you'll buy more from them. So it's their customer acquisition cost or their advertising cost. It allows us to buy this entire package for very little money. But it's a win for you because it allows me to take your anyway dollars and to just maneuver your budget. Money you're going to spend anyway, regardless. If I walk out of here, you're going to have to continue to soften your water. You're either going to do it one box at a time or one chemical additive at a time, or you're going to do it the smart way, cure the problem. Again, do you want to cure the problem or you just want to treat the problem? Do you want to be part of the solution or you want to be part of the problem? And now you can see why everybody gets Rain Soft treated water. The Natural Vision soap products people love. Yes, ask away.
Okay, maybe you just answered this question just to be clear. More often than not, when I do the soap presentation, the guy says, oh, my wife only has a specific taste, specific smell. I don't think she's going to like this stuff, as great as they are, but she wants to buy their own products. Or the lady says, I'm not going to use this. I don't know them. I can't trust them. I really want to use my own products.
And I certainly understand that, Mrs. Jones, and you are welcome to use whatever you want to use. You'll just have to cut back about 80%. I am going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you to try these products because at the end of the day, you've been convinced by a lot of advertising that Tide's the greatest product in the world. And I'm going to explain to you because a lot of people feel that way. But at the end of the day, what do you want your laundry soap to do? You want it to clean your clothes. If you could just wave this bottle over your clothes and your clothes would come clean, would you even put them in the wash machine? If you knew your clothes were perfectly clean after waving this magic wand, right? At the end, all we want is clean clothes. Now, here's the thing. If your clothes smell like Tide, it's because the Tide is still in your clothes. It doesn't matter what your laundry soap smells like with good water because if you do it and you don't add too much, it's all going to be rinsed out and your clothes are just going to be clean. But they're not going to smell like Tide. Okay? So if you want your clothes to smell like something, then you can either use cologne or you can use perfume, or if you want, like for our Pure Selects products that you guys are looking at, they can just put a couple of drops of natural oils on the microfiber cloth and throw them in the laundry, and it'll put that fresh, clean scent on them of any scent they want to choose from. That's an advantage of the Pure Selects line. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter because when you use good water and Tide, your clothes don't smell like Tide because it all gets rinsed out. If you really want your towels to smell like Tide, then take a little teaspoon of Tide and throw it in your dryer and let it run around in your dryer. But who wants to do that? You want your clothes to smell clean but not like Tide. So you can use anything you want. But when you have good water, it's going to rinse all the scent. You can use Dial in the shower. You're not going to smell like Dial when you get out.
Yeah.
Because it all rinses off your skin. It's a common thing I hear every day, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. But I can assure you that really what you want is clean clothes. And if you want really clean clothes, does that include leaving leftover Tide in your clothes? If that's the case, then the solution is just dump it on your towels when you get out and shake it out. Would you do that?
No.
I've sold thousands of Rain Soft systems personally, and I'm going to tell you that I heard that objection frequently, and I was never unable to overcome it because it's ludicrous. But you can use anything you want. Now, shampoo is a different story. People want to buy their expensive shampoos. But again, most of the shampoos that they use, it's only based on the fact that it leaves a lot of product in their hair because they know that the detergent isn't, or the hard water is going to rinse the shampoo out. So they put in a bunch of softeners in the shampoo. So if, for instance, when you're traveling, you're far better off using a liquid soap or using liquid shampoo as a body wash than you are the bar of soap that they give you in the hotel, because the bar soaps don't typically have any chemical element to rinse off your skin, and that's why it dries your skin out so badly. So, Nathan, what have you learned today?
I learned that the problem, actually, the solution is not the soap. The solution is to clean the water, and the soap obviously complements that.
Right. So when you're pushing the Natural Vision soaps, when you're talking about it, what I want you to take away from this is you don't have to consume a lot of time on the soaps. If you do your demonstration properly, people should ask you, well, what detergent should we use? That means they got it. Well, we have an answer for that because, yeah, You don't want to continue to soften your water. People need to understand that Tide, not in a negative way, not slamming Tide, that Tide is designed to do a job, just like blood pressure medicine is designed to do a job. If I can cure the blood pressure by having you lose weight and exercising, and I drop your blood pressure by actually curing the problem, but the problem is in today's medical world, we don't look for the cures, we look for pharmaceutical solutions. Do you know why that is, Nathan?
Money?
Follow the money. There's no money in curing disease. The money is lifelong prescription consumption.
Yeah.
There's no money for Procter & Gamble in curing your water problem. What would you rather have? Would you rather buy a RainSoft system one time, or would you rather buy Tide for the next 40 years? Well, if you're Procter & Gamble, the answer is easy. Buy Tide for the next 40 years. Do you think soap prices are going up or down? They go up every year. They find new cleaners every year to overcome the problem. Scrubbing bubbles. New and improved to remove water hardness. Why not just cure the problem? And when people get this message, they get it. And if I had this conversation, which I have done frequently, I could convince somebody to get good water in under 20 minutes without ever taking out a demo kit. The entire purpose of the demo is to clearly illustrate all the points I'm saying. Selling RainSoft's the easiest thing in the world. We just make it complicated because we don't even understand the power of what we're saying. And we're unable to communicate it in a clear, concise way that everybody can understand. You need to have lots of stories, including, like, which stories have I told you today? I used the doctor story, the magnet story, right? Those are powerful stories that create images in people's minds so that they're able to comprehend what I'm saying.
Right.
You need to learn those stories. We actually have a script for the doctor story. And I'll leave you with one last thing. I know I've run over time, and I'm going to leave you with one last story. But imagine that everybody you were calling on already had good water in their house. They've had RainSoft treated water their entire life, and you didn't work for RainSoft. You worked for the HWCIS Corporation. They sell the hard water chemical injection systems. And you were trying to tell somebody to get rid of RainSoft water and put into a device that would literally make the water hard and would inject thousands of unknown chemicals into the water. And we were trying to tell them to stop using good soap and to start using all the great expensive store brand soaps that you see advertised on TV. How would you like to do that for a living? How successful would you be removing RainSoft from somebody's house and putting in hard water and chemicals into their house, along with chlorine?
Not successful at all.
Yeah, it'd be really tough, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We have that in writing along with a graphic page that shows the hard water chemical injection system that you can use as a story, as a close, or just another way to look at this, okay?
Is this on your website, Harry?
I will have Angie send all that to Fernando. Okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I will send you a copy of this call. Guys, did this help? Was this a good call for you?
That was fantastic.
That was really good. Thank you very much.
Okay. If you want to do more, just let me know. I'm available, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.